Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Serah Gaming here, and today I would like to talk a little bit about the Divine Ifrit summoning board before we venture into the Crystal Level 90 realm that we will be getting in less than 24 hours. So on top of the fire attribute granted to the party, which Ifrit previously already provides, now he does, as the usual upgrade to level 40 summoning, he now does bravery and HP damage split, which will also grant the party Hellfire by 2 turns, and this Hellfire buff will increase the max bravery cap up by 20% and also increase the HP damage up by 20%. It also grants the party max bravery cap up by 10% while in the summoning phase, so this brings up a total of 30% in the max bravery cap up, which will really make Ifrit the favorable summon in the upcoming Crystal Level 90 era for a very long time. Mainly also because the fact that the HP damage up is really favorable for Crystal Level 90 era. So now that's out of the way, I will be talking about the farming phase during Divine Ifrit Chaos event. Before I get further into it, I just want everyone to know this is just purely min-maxing, meaning that it doesn't really matter if you're not using the recommended team and skill that I mentioned here, because in the end you just want to clear the stage. Just having your time saved may not be for everybody, because Auto Plus already is a very good feature that actually helps a lot of people to save their time, especially when it comes to grinding that summoning board. So this is just purely for speculation and for data analysis, and to also know which of the units can actually be the best and preferable to bring to this event. So let's get started, guys. Okay, so first of all, we will be getting 6 synergy characters, which will be Noel, Sid, Serah, Onion Knight, and of course Edward and Celes. Taking out the 4 characters that will be getting a rework, we'll have Celes and Edward. I won't be too recommending Edward in this case because his skill only has 1 HP dumps in all of them, and he doesn't have the fastest skill cast time, so bringing him is just gonna waste a lot of your time. He does have a very good perks, which is his LD does provide speed, so in the case where you need that shenanigan to not let Ifrit take any turns, he might be useful in that sense, but otherwise he's just a big no in this point. If you do want to run him though, just equip his LD, remove height because that's just gonna waste a lot more of your time, remove his EX and just leave LD and skill 2 should be sufficient enough. So for the next character, we'll be looking at Celes. She was once featured in one of the Divine summoning board as well. I believe it was Divine Ramuth alongside Emperor's BT. She's not exactly the fastest farmer as well because of how her skill lacks the amount of HP dump before her Crystal Level 90. So if you really want to go for her, you can maybe just remove her EX. Other than that, it doesn't really matter. If you're a newer player though, do note that she's a tank, so she can actually help in taking damage if you're letting Divine Ifrit get any turns, and she can also deal some off-turn damage in that case. But other than that, it's not really notable to say anything that she can provide in fast farming this event. With that in mind, I'll now move on to the next 4 characters that will be getting their rework and their Crystal Level 90. We'll start with Serah. Okay, so Serah, in my opinion, I'll remove everything except her skill 2, because only with the fact that she has more skill HP dumps in that skill, and it is also one of the the fastest skill casting time compared to other skill that she has. Her LD does provide more HP dump compared to her skill 2, but the fact that her LD is a lot slower, so you might want to only put her skill 2 and focuses the damage from other damage dealer in that case. And next we're gonna have Sid High Wind, and because the boss is mainly going to be single target as to every other divine summoning, it's always single target. Your main problem here is to nuke Ifrit, and in this case Sid is going to be really useful because of his amount of crazy HP dump, and the fact that it's only single target means that the split damage that comes from his LD will not happen. So in my opinion, you can just leave everything on for Sid, because his LD and his EX is gonna be his most hard hitting skill. And if you're going to need his skill 1 and skill 2, for his case, you're doing it wrong probably, because he mostly can finish the fight before using up all his LD and his EX skill. And next we have Onion Knight. Alright, if you have Onion Knight's BT+, just bring him whatsoever and he can actually nuke the hell out of Ifrit just before, just with his BT+ damage alone. But if you're not, then remove his skill 2 and probably remove his LD as well, because like I said, the boss is single target here. So Onion Knight is gonna have a lot of good time with his ninja form because of the fast turn rate and his EX that have 4 HP dumps while in ninja form. So in that sense, I will just remove the LD and remove skill 2 as well, and just focus on his EX and his skill 1 for the damage. And lastly, Noel. Noel is not exactly the fastest farmer because of his animation alone takes up quite some time, but his EX though does have a very massive damage and HP dump. So if you have his BT+ as usual, always leave that on, because the finisher itself is very devastating. The damage itself is more than sufficient to just end the fight right away. But if you don't have him, probably just put in his LD and his EX should be enough for you to get through most of the stage. Yeah, so that's my opinion on Noel itself. If you do not have the 6 character that I mentioned, or if you're missing some of the characters and you'd like to bring up some often synergy characters to speed up the farm, I would suggest to always look at BT+ characters, because like I said, no matter what kind of character it is, the BT+ finisher will always have the most devastating damage to the boss, and will always clear the stage a lot faster and early. So that is your main first consideration. If you don't have those in mind, then probably look for units that has very fast animation and deal a lot of HP dumps. For some of the examples that I will be saying here is Yida. Yida is one of the fastest farmer because of her speed and the amount of HP dump she can deal. And you can also bring up unit like Sitrain, but Sitrain does have the launch, which might slow down the run a little bit. Or maybe if you have Shadow, he does really well in terms of the amount of HP dump and also the speed that he has, which will actually grant him a lot of turns before nuking Divine Ifrit. And of course, units like Terra can be very self-sufficient because of her LD. And of course, if you want to go old school, you can go back to units like Tifa or Zidane, who can also help because of his turn deletion, which will help bringing more time or bringing out more space to your characters to finish up the fight before letting the boss get any turns. So yeah, that's some of my examples of units that I think that can work really well in this farming phase. And I do know that grinding can be a little bit headache sometimes, but you know what, we just gotta do what we gotta do. I have 2 accounts for those who doesn't know, and my main will be going for Serah and Noel, and probably Onion Knight or Sid. Depends on whether I get Sid, but my alternate account, I will be pulling for Noel and Sid in my alt, and I'll just put on Noel, Sid, and maybe Machina, because I only have Machina's BT+ there, so we'll see how it goes. So I hope you guys enjoy this short little video about the farming. Again, this is just min-maxing, and I would like to point out this information that I provide may not be 100% accurate in terms of the speed running process because of how the rework hasn't kicked in yet for the characters. Therefore, some differences might affect how the overall run could be. For example, regeneration of bravery as well, and everything else. So yeah, if you take all those into consideration, you can actually pump up your speed even faster, but that's just a lot of analysis based on a min-maxing situation. But yes, that's how it's gonna be for now, and thank you guys again for watching. If you enjoyed the video, do consider giving me a subscribe and like the video as well. Alright, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers guys.